Time and again, we have been hearing the word inner child healing almost every day. And in the wake of the current scenario, where a lot of people for the past 1 year have been in their houses, their lives have been impacted due to the pandemic, many people have lost jobs, and I see a lot of people understanding the need for not just physical healing but also for mental, emotional, and spiritual healing. And I believe, as a practitioner of energy healing as well as a coach, I believe that it's very important to have your inner child healing, because 90% of the problems people are facing in their life right now somewhere stem from their childhood. Hi, this is Ashwini Chube. I am a life transformation coach, personal growth and development coach, motivational speaker, Reiki grandmaster, access consciousness facilitator, Akashic records healer, and well, a lot more. To know more about my work, log on to www.unicorninsight.com. Now, let me take you to this really interesting topic on healing the inner child. And you will first of all ask me, what is inner child healing and why do I need to heal the inner child? So, as I said, most of the problems which are happening today in our life is because we somewhere have an unhealed inner child within us. Now, what do you mean by an unhealed inner child? And you will ask me, what is an unhealed inner child and what is first and foremost the inner child? So please understand that we have two distinct aspects of our personality, the adult and the child. Now, when these two aspects of our personality are connected to each other, are working together, there is a sense of wholeness within them, there is a sense of balance within them, our life becomes happy and joyful. And when these two parts are disconnected, there is a sense of conflict, there is total emptiness and aloneness within. A lot of people whom I have been coaching or healing in the last 1 year or so have really gone deeper into their inner child healing. And apart from that, when I took a workshop just when our lockdown began in last April, we did a workshop which was about healing deep inner emotions. Most of the candidates who were on their group realized that a lot of healing happened when we actually started healing their inner child. The moral of the story is most people today who are looking for some solutions, and inner child healing can really impact them and take their life to the next level. So as I said, we have an adult within us, and we also have a child within us. And when these two parts are connected or working together, working in balance, our life becomes great. Whereas when these two parts are disconnected, there is a sense of emptiness. The current reality, most people who believe that they think from their head. I see a lot of people who tell me that, oh, people who are stupid think from their heart and people who are smart think from their head. And we had this latest talk where we spoke about silencing the voice of ego, where this conflict remains. I believe that when the inner child or and your inner adult are totally deeply connected, that is the time the voice of the ego is silenced, because the child knows the creative part of us and the adult knows how to take action, which creates a balance and creates what we call as the voice of higher self. The voice of ego is very, very active when the inner child and inner adult are disconnected. And when the inner child and adult are totally connected, we are deeply connected to our higher self. Now, it is very important to have the understanding of what the inner child is. In today's world, most of us are living with a disconnected child and a disconnected adult. And traditionally, our culture considers that children are stupid. Children are less than adults. Many times when a child says something, I often see parents saying, oh, that child is talking rubbish. But I feel that there is so much to learn from their children. There have been studies which say that our children are the beings which are sent to us by the creator so that we can learn from them. But what we do, we teach them, and we actually spoil the whole reason for our existence. I think there is so much to learn from the creativity of children. Children believe in magic, children believe in miracles. And imagine you don't let that part of you die which believes in magic and miracles, and you balance it with the understanding of an adult. and imagine how beautiful world you can create. So we all have an inner child deep within us, and the inner child doesn't die when you become 18-year-old, and the inner adult is not just born when you're 18-year-old. They both exist simultaneously. However, for the first 7 years of our life, our inner child is really active, and our inner child is really exploring a lot of things. The voice of ego, when it comes in, it starts making the adult very constricted in its approach, and from there is what we can born as the voice of ego, because the connection between the inner child and the inner adult is lost. Now let us look at what is, how do you know whether there is an inner child within you. Now we all have that part of us which believes in creativity. When we are doing an activity, a creative activity, we are living with the child. But let me tell you how to identify the child and adult within you. Now imagine you like ice cream a lot, okay, and you believe that eating ice cream, eating too much of ice cream, can give you cold and cough. Now, the inner child within you wants to eat the ice cream, and the inner adult within you is telling it, "No, don't eat ice cream. It will cause cold and cough." Now, that is where the disconnection begins, because the adult is always trying to feel that it is right. You know, we always see that the left brain or the rational mind is right, and the right brain or the creative mind is wrong. But what if you could balance both? Now, in this case, the extreme approach of disconnection between inner child and inner adult will be the inner adult telling the inner child, "Don't eat ice cream. You're going to fall sick." Okay, that is the aggressive inner adult. The other inner adult is the too much relaxed, or I can say the too much going out of control inner adult. The inner adult will tell the child, "Okay, eat as many ice creams as you want." And the first case, the child will feel it is not heard, it is not supported. In the second case, the child will feel that the child will fall sick, right? Now this is exactly how our thinking process goes. The child wants to explore, the child wants things, the adult either constricts it, or either the adult allows it to do anything it wants. Now what would be the ideal scenario? The deep connection between the adult and the child, where the adult tells the child that, "Yes, I know you like ice cream, don't eat too much, maybe just have 2 spoons and see how it works." So the child says, "No, but I still want to eat ice cream." The adult tells the child, "Remember last time you fell sick when you ate a lot of ice cream? How about just having 2 spoons, because otherwise you will fall sick?" And the child says, "Okay, that works for me." So the child eats just 2 spoons of ice cream. And now in this case, the child is happy because it could eat ice cream. The adult is happy because the child did not fall sick. Now, this is exactly how your inner mechanism is working. The adult brings to fruition through action the wants, needs, and desires, as well as the creative ideas of the child. So, for example, if the child is hungry, the adult prepares food, orders food, or tells someone to make food so that the child can eat. If the child is tired, the adult gets into bed and turns off the light so that the child can rest. If the child wants to connect to a friend, or if the child feels it needs to talk to someone, the adult actually picks up the phone, dials in the call. This is how the work is going within us. There has to be harmony. But imagine if the child is hungry, and there is an important meeting going on in office, and the adult tells the child, "No, you're not going to eat because there is a meeting going on." And that happens every day. And because of this over strictness of the adult within, the child will rebel, and the person's human body will fall sick. Or sometimes the adult wants to rest, the child wants to rest because the child knows that the body is tired. So the child tells adult, "I want to rest." But the adult says, "No, there is work, and you are now a very responsible person who is responsible for their work." So the adult says that, "No, you can't take rest." You're seeing it. Now, what happens is the adult will not allow the child to rest, and the child will create something so that the person will fall sick, and at any cost, he will not be able to attend, he or she will not be able to attend that deadline. Now, who is rebelling? Your child. Okay. And who is being rude here or who is being very aggressive here? The the inner adult. Now, what is again the ideal scenario here? The child, when the child says that I'm tired, the adult has to take action. That adult has to call up the boss or the senior or tell them, look, I'm unwell. And at this situation, I just cannot handle this work because my body needs rest. And when probably the boss, then people say that the boss yells at them, saying that it's not possible for us um, to take a leave or to not follow this. And in this case, what happens is the adult does not stand up for the child. Okay, which means the adult says that no matter what, I have to work, and because otherwise my boss will shout at me, I will lose my job. So at this point of time, the adult has to stand up for the child and tell the boss, I really understand this is important, but also my health is important, and if this can wait till 2 days, I can complete it after 2 days. If needs to be done urgently, I do request you to send someone else in my place and do the work. That is what we call as opening up, expressing yourself, even if it's an authoritative figure. And today people are suffering because there is no connection between the inner child and inner adult. Because the inner adult is always telling the child, no, you don't need rest. You need to do this work no matter what. Otherwise, you will lose your job. But how about the inner adult talking to the child and saying, okay, let us see what is possible. Let us see what else can we do. And this is exactly the balanced approach to living your life as a balanced inner child and a balanced inner adult. Now, when we go deeper into inner child and inner adult healing and connection, we look at aspects of the experiences and aspects. If a child is not loved, here we are talking about you as a person not being loved in childhood. How do you become, and what happens to someone who's received love in their childhood? So we create an inner child, which is either unloved inner child or loved inner child, depending on the experiences we had. Okay. Now, I don't want you to go back and say that, oh, I was not loved in my childhood, and that's the reason I'm like this. And then a lot of people I see, they victimize. They say that my parents were really bad, they did not behave good with me, and that was the reason I had a bad childhood. Whatever it was, we understand that you would be in a situation and we would empathize with you. But now when you look at healing it, you're not blaming your parents, you're not blaming your teachers, you're not blaming anyone for having that unhealed or unloved childhood, but rather you're taking up this responsibility to go back and heal it. So if you have an unloved child, unloved inner child, you might feel abandoned, you might feel the universe doesn't work with you, you might feel that situations are getting very bad, no one loves me. I see a lot of people who create drama and trauma, who are a lot of dramatic people who keep saying that, oh, it's all bad with me. They are the people who really need a lot of love and healing. So I see a lot of people who are sarcastic, and they say that, I read somewhere in between where a person says that the only way to live happily is to pretend that you don't have a heart or harden your heart, because and that has happened because someone has broken their trust, someone has betrayed them. But that is the extreme wound of an inner child, and at this place, this person needs really a lot of healing. When a lot of people say I'm strong, they have actually numbed their feelings, because in childhood somewhere they were they were abandoned by someone, or they had a very bad experience in life. Maybe a really close friend hurt them, or they were verbally abused, or any other kind of abuse happened in their life, because of which they became very constrictive in their approach to life. They stopped trusting people, they stopped believing in love, and they only thought that the only way to show that I'm a very cool person is to show that I'm strong. But in truth, they have hardened their heart, which means they have created walls around their heart, and they don't allow themselves to be loved. Now these are the people who say that I'm very practical, or I don't believe in expressing your true feelings, or I'm too smart or too intelligent to do that. That comes from the wound of an inner child. Now what on the other hand is a person who has been loved in the childhood, and that person is a loved inner child. Now the loved inner child is energetic, enthusiastic, full of enthusiasm. They're also empathetic, which means They believe that if someone is feeling bad, if someone is crying, they say that I can feel your pain, I understand your pain. Also, the loved inner child is not afraid to speak up for themselves. The loved inner child says that, oh, I'm not feeling good, and this is what exactly I feel. Also, the loved inner child is content and peaceful with being with themselves. Now, years ago, when I was in my college or in my early years as a youth, I was many times I was being mocked by people of my age group, saying that, oh, she's almost like a child, she doesn't take any responsibility, or she's very easygoing. But life, and people used to tell me, life is not as easy, life is difficult, so you better be ready for difficult life. I somehow did not believe in that. I continued to have people in my life who kept on criticizing me. But later, when I started learning all of these things, and when I became a coach, and during the course of becoming a coach, I realized that I had a very good childhood, and because of which I had still kept my inner child active. And today, when I meet people, they say that yes, you have that childlike enthusiasm or joy within you, but I take it as a compliment because I balance it with having a healed or loved adult. So now, after understanding what's the inner child, loved inner child, and unloved inner child, we are going to talk about what is a loving adult and what is an unloving adult. So, an unloving adult is making a choice to protect themselves against emotion and feeling. Okay, so when the child got hurt, the inner adult immediately put a shell around it. The inner adult is not taking responsibility of the child, of the inner child, which means, as I said, if the child is feeling sick, this person is still continuing to work. The person is still continuing to betray itself time and again. This person is not standing up to the child and not making that call to the boss saying that I need to take this work off. Or, in situations where you have, for example, a toxic person at work, and you are just, many people believe that it's good to just keep on taking um, what I call as nonsense from others, because that shows that they are good persons. And many people misbelieve this. This is a wrong belief. The ideal way, when someone is being toxic to you, it's standing up, because the inner child is getting hurt. So as an loving adult, you have to stand up for the inner child. So an unloving adult does not take responsibility of pain, whereas a loving inner adult takes responsibility for the child's pain. It is powerful, committed, and courageous. It expresses. It knows how to hold a space for the child. It knows that child has reasons for certain things, which means the loved adult knows that there is a reason for your emotions and feeling. The unloved inner adult says that there is no reason, and it just says that it just shuns the child off. Also, the unloved inner adult is always judgmental, critical, and it honors self sacrifice and self loathing. So, again, going back to my talk on the voice of ego, the unloving inner adult listens to the voice of ego and abandons the inner child time and again. Whereas the loving inner adult holds the space for the child's emotion, takes a stand, has a conversation, not just with the inner child, but with a lot of people outside. Now, guys, this topic is very deep, and I'm just introducing it to you so that you can understand how the inner child and inner adult are connected. Um, Now, how would you connect between your inner child and inner adult? There are different ways to connect. One of the easiest way is to take a paper pen and understand that simply when you connect both of them, that is the time your healing begins. You could do guided meditations. The best thing you could do is connect to someone who is an inner child healer. So we in our coaching do a lot of inner child healings, and our clients have seen a lot of breakthroughs, because you believe that it's very simple, but the method is very easy, but the healing which occurs is phenomenal. Because when you connect to the inner child and allow the adult to take charge of it, a lot of things start shifting. And on case to case scenarios, every person's childhood is different, every person's life is different. So once you start connecting the inner child and adult, probably with the tips which I gave you today, you can already begin it today. And if you require any support or any kind of personalized sessions where you don't understand what is the pain and where is it coming from, you can get in touch with us for a personalized coaching session where we do inner child healing. I hope this video at least gives you some idea on what inner child healing is and how a loved adult and a loved child together can create a wonderful life full of magic and miracles. I hope this talk benefits you. This is Ashwini Chube. To know more on my work, log on to www.unicorninsight.com to book a session with me, to book a coaching session with me, or to book an inner child coaching session with me. You can drop an email on ashwini.chube@unicorninsight.com. Please note that all coachings, all sessions only happen on prior appointment, and that too only through email. So all appointments are taken through email, and then a session time is fixed. So I hope this helps you and give you lots of wishes for your journey. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and watching this video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.